Welcome back, everybody. We are going to now work with a segment that I like to call oops, mistakes or little more things you might run into in trying to submit an expense report, maybe come across one or two of these errors, and one of the more common errors as to why you might get one rejected back to you. I have an expense report ready to go, so we're going to open it up. Just in order so that I can have a mistake, I am going to change this expense report number here to match one that will basically give us a duplicate, okay? Some people say, well, they get a duplicate. It says, well, it's a duplicate, but I don't remember yada, 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 and I have to politely go in and show them how it is. So let's make this going to be a duplicate. We've got to expense some of this out for just a moment, so let me do this rather quickly. We know this account's going to be 6002, and this is going to be general transportation, okay, and we know that that's 1245.76. All right, and this is going to be Ambridge. Just a little review for you all to make sure I'm doing it right. The next segment then, as you know, is going to be meals, and it's, we're doing corporate on this case, so it's 6002, meals and entertainment. And again, dimension 2 says it's 190.92, and we're going to do Ambridge here. And again, you could be allocating to hotels, and let me stop it right there and talk about one of the biggest mistakes you'll get rejected. If this is a corporate entity, that has to say corporate. If this is a property, like one of these here, if it's a hotel, make sure you see the word hotel in the GL description. If you don't, and it gets to my last approver who's checking for this, I call it a cross code, it'll get sent back to you. We cannot have that. It bogs down in JDE, and then it creates triple the work in order to get you paid. So please make sure that if you're coding to corporate property, the GL is corporate. If it is a property, it's a hotel GL. And the last one on this report is an employee relations, and I know that that's 60027 dot 00. Well, I thought it was 60027. Let's just make sure. I could be wrong, and that's why I'm glad it brings up 60 employee relations. It was $500. And again, this is going to be Ambridge, AIM, and there we go. Okay, so I got this thing ready to go, and I'm hoping that I've put I'm going to get a duplicate here because I've already got one on file. So if I hit submit, we will see what happens. And you notice right here, this is a confusing error message. It says the document is a duplicate, and it gives you this document number. It doesn't tell you that, but what this basically is saying is you already have an expense report out there with that number. If you're not sure, you can always do this. You can do pending. It'll save it. Everything you've done, you can go back. You can do a search if you're not sure about it. You can say, okay, I'm going to go down to the last one. I'm going to put my name in there. Okay, I'm going to do a search, and mine shows up funny, so I'm just going to say payable invoices. And I notice, if you notice right there, I already have two of them. I've got. Here's the one I tried to submit. Here's the one I submitted. It is a duplicate. Okay. Now there's an easy fix to it, and you may come across some points in time when you've got an expense on the same day. You did a trip and you had a final one, but then you did some work. Let's say you were going to allocate a phone bill to everybody, and you did the same day. That's a distinct possibility. This is not anything to get excited about. Okay, there's a simple fix to it, and I tell everybody to do this. We'll go back in here, And when it comes back up, what I'll do is I'll add just the little letter A. You could use whatever letter you want. That will keep the YOOZ from thinking it is a duplicate. You did have expenses on the same day. That's okay. It recognizes us as a different invoice number. Now there are three other errors you could see, and it all happens to deal with missing information down here in the allocation level. Let's just say, for instance, you forgot to put a GL code here. Okay, so if you go submit, all right, notice at least one GL is required. It might say dimension 1. All right, that's because I'm missing something right here. So 60021, this is the transportation, okay? If you miss something here, let's say you forgot to get the amount in there. You shouldn't, because this number will turn blue. But let's pretend you didn't check it. It is red, you just didn't see it. And so let's say you're trying to submit with a missing amount, submit, okay, and it should give us some sort of, it's trying to load the data. Technology is a wonderful thing. Okay, it says the pre-tax amount form is not equal. That's true. What it is you're out of balance. This is dimension 2. So let's put that amount back in. 245.76. Okay, I'm in balance. What happens if you forgot the property? I have this happen a lot of time. People say, well, I've got the GL and the amount. I say, and I look over here and say, well, who are you charging it to? I mean, somebody's got to be responsible for paying the bill. If you hit submit, you'll probably get this error. Cost center dimension 3 is required, okay? So you have to have entries into all 3 dimensions per line, okay? 8. And, 8,000,001, and that's Ambridge Hospitality, okay? So this should be ready. I have fixed my error there. And if I hit submit, and hopefully it goes through, it's going to go to Jamie, and she's going to get annoyed right now because she didn't realize I'm going to send her an email, but she's used to it. And here we go. Let me show you one other thing, couple of things real quick about what gets the most rejections, and I call it oops, and that is not submitting correct documentation. Now, everybody had to have read the travel policies, and one of the things it does say is you must submit a receipt. And that shows payment. I've got some examples here of just right off the bat of some good, as you can see, I have some good copies of some receipts. This person went to Print Place, and you notice right here, credit card payment information. It says payment information. That lets me know it was paid. The other way I know it's paid, there is no balance due. So while some of them might give you where the credit card with the last 4 digits, they're acknowledging that a credit card was paid and nothing else is due. So that's a good receipt. Here we have a Southwest Airlines. We're looking at this one here. It looks good to me. I've got a Visa card with the last 4 digits. When it expires, even though it doesn't say no balance is due, I know it's going to be total charge. So it's a payment summary, payment information. I know it has been paid. Uber. I know Uber is just all credit cards, and there's usually one section here, total Visa. It'll show you right here. If I can get that thing out of the way, why does it want to print? I don't know. Let me go back up one to see if I can get that to go away. For whatever the case may be, it gives me the total, the tip, and everything, what was charged. You don't need to submit all the other stuff. There's like 3 or 4 pages with Uber receipts. This one sheet right here will do it for us because we get the amount and we get what credit card is charged. A lot of times, if you're going to be reimbursed for mileage, we ask for documentation for auditors, and it can be a couple of things. One, we sent each of you when you came in to use a travel log That's obvious. Some people print up a Google map, and I will accept a Google map of your trip. Hopefully, it's one that says how many miles were driven. Like this one here, I apologize for rolling it up, but this I'll check. We will use this quote unquote as a receipt, quote unquote, for a trip that you're wanting to be reimbursed mileage. Sharis ordered some flowers from somebody, and this one, it is a good one on the second page here. Credit card type Visa, the total charge. We know it even though there's no sub balance or a zero balance due left. And I think I've got one more here. Here is a MapQuest as backup for the trip itself. So make sure no matter what you do, you submit a receipt that shows some sort of payment. Now I've got a couple examples here, and we're going to make some people unhappy because we left their names on there, but they're good people. They know that Brian. This is what Brian submitted for his airline. He submitted 2 pages really. The problem was he left the third page. He had page 1 and 3 and not 2. I do not see a credit card payment at all. I don't see anything to this nature. It does not show card, a zero balance. It doesn't say the word receipt on it or anything of that nature. So I rejected it back to him and saying, Brian, I need that portion of this payment information with the payment information to count it as a receipt. This one here was a team lunch. I see this a lot of times. You get DoorDash or Foosby or somebody bringing you food, and everybody gives me the order confirmation, and that's all I get. Again, this is not good. I don't know if somebody picked this up off the street. I have no idea. I don't know if a card was charged. How do I know it was paid? Might it have been canceled? So that's the biggest oops in most of the reasons why we reject. The ones we showed you. The cross-coding, where you have a hotel GL and you're charging a corporate entity, or you have a corporate code, the word corporate in the GL, but you're charging a property. Duplicate invoice, dimensions missing, whether you're missing the GL code, the amount, or the property, or receipts are incomplete. They are not true receipts. That's going to end this session. The next session I'm going to do is a look behind the scenes at stuff that we ask you for, and maybe this will give you a better understanding of why we ask for it and what we're looking for. Thank you.